Alright guys, so now we're going to put in some extra bracing on our truss and remove some of the highly stressed corner areas. So I've gone ahead and done that already because it's a bit time consuming, but I've left one here to show you how to do it. So you'll go into the Features tab and select fillet, and we'll change our fillet parameter to 3mm or whatever we want. I'll choose 3 and we'll leave it symmetric. And now we'll select just this little corner, and we can go around and select all the other ones too at the same time. And then once we're happy, we just click the green tick and it will generate our fillet. And so we can do that everywhere and remove all those sharp edges, and can go ahead and save that. So now we want to add in some bracing. So what we're going to do is define some holes for our rivets. So let's go into this view and we'll create a sketch, and this time we're actually going to sketch onto this front surface. Let's put in some construction lines. Vertical is enough, and we'll put a horizontal one down here, and we can dimension this as 5mm, so half of our thickness of the truss member. And now we want to select this point tool, and we're going to just put 2 points or however many rivets we want along this, and now we can dimension them. So I'll make these 40, and we'll go from here to the center at 130. Then of course we'll use our mirror entities tool, select those 2 points and mirror them about the vertical construction line. We can see they've been generated over here, and then green tick. Now we can exit this sketch, and we've got these points. So now what we'll do is use the Features tab, and we'll select the Hole wizard. And now here you just want to, we're going to create some holes where those points are. So we'll select Hole, and then we'll choose the ANSI metric standard and our drill types, drill sizes, and size we'll select 3.2 because that's our rivet size. And then our condition, we're going to drill through everything, so we'll select through all. Now we'll go over to Position tab and select 3D Sketch, and then here we can just click the points that we added in, and then we can just click the green tick. And so now we've generated some holes on our part. And so now I want to put some bracing across here, and we're going to attach it using the rivets. So let's just save this, and now we'll go to File and create a new assembly. And we're going to bring in our bridge base, and as we can see, the first object we pull into an assembly, the first component, is always fixed, denoted by this F symbol, so keep that in mind. So now we're actually going to create our bracing parts within our assembly, and that means that we can link the dimensions of these braces to the bridge structure itself. So if we ever make changes to this structure, we make it taller or longer or wider, these hole positions might move, but because we've linked our reinforcement structures together, they will automatically update, and so we won't have to change those either. So to do that, we'll first insert a new reference geometry and we'll select plane. And now we want to come underneath our truss and we want to select this edge and the edge on the other side, and that's going to define a plane across here. And we want this plane to be flush with the flat part of our truss. Click the green tick, and now we want to go into our sketch, and we want to, instead of clicking this 2D sketch, we're going to click the arrow and go to 3D. And now we're going to select line tool for construction, and we'll hover over this hole and you'll see that little plus symbol appear. So we want to go and click the plus, and we can click onto our point. And now if you just double click, you can continue using the line tool again without having to click it in your toolbar. And we'll just put all these in. Cool. Now we can exit that. We have these reference lines now to align our holes. And now we're going to create a new part inside this assembly. So we'll come up to the toolbar and go to Insert, Component, New Part. Now we need to select a plane to sketch on. So let's select that plane we just created earlier. And we'll align our view to underneath here. And we'll just build one part along this geometry. So let's go to Sketch, and we'll choose this rectangle tool, and let's select these edges and make these collinear, the inside edge of course. And now we'll define a width for our reinforcement structure, so we'll make that maybe 15 millimeters. And now that's fully defined. So next we'll click the sheet metal tab, and we'll once again select the base flange tab. Now if we move around, we can see the preview has built upwards, which is what we want. We don't want it to go the other way. And of course we've got our parameters that are already set from earlier, so 0.6 thickness and 0.455 for the K factor. So we'll click OK. And now what we want to do is build up some flanges so that we can attach our rivets. So what we'll do is use the edge flange tool again, select this corner and drag up, and then select the other side, and we'll make our distance, either we can set it to 10 mil or we can actually reference it up to a vertex. It won't let me select that, so let's just go blind and we'll make it 10 because we know that's the thickness of our member here. So, or we can actually just click this, yep, change this to 10, and the other side's done too. So we can just, oh yes, we have to make sure that our flange we made up is flush with the inside, so that is, and we can change that by using the flange position. So that's the one we want. Click OK. Now what we want to do is create a quick little sketch, and we'll sketch onto the surface of this flange, and we'll put another point right in the middle and exit that. Then once again we'll go into features and select our hole wizard, and we can go into positions, 3D sketch, select that point that we placed earlier. Now if we go back into type, we can make sure that all our settings are right. So the hole is 3.2 and we want to go through everything. Click the green tick and we've built our part. So now we can press this blue arrow to save the component, and it is we can see it on our assembly tree now. So let's right click our new part and we'll rename it to something easy to identify. So let's call it reinforce 1. And now we can see there's a little traffic light symbol. So to get rid of that, we need to update our drawing. So if we come to the top, there's a little update button or rebuild, and we'll click that. Now what we can do, because we set up these 3D lines from the 3D sketch before, we can easily create a pattern from our parts, so to duplicate them. So what we'll do is go into assembly, and under linear component pattern we want to click this little arrow and we want to select pattern driven component pattern. It's going to ask us for the component to pattern, so we'll select our reinforced member, and now it wants a driving feature, and that's why we use the hole wizard. So this driving feature only recognizes certain features such as the hole wizard. So now we'll go into our tree, into our bridge base, and we'll find those holes that we made and click that. Now we can see that the pattern has been created, but our parts are in the wrong orientation. So what we'll do is come over to this button that says select seed position, and we'll click that, and now we'll see these purple dots appear. So let's come to the purple dot that corresponds to the part we're mirroring, and we'll just click that. And now all our parts will be lined up with our features, our hole feature. And then we just click the green tick. And so now we've added in our reinforcements. It's not necessary to model the rivets themselves. That's okay. So what we'll do now is save this, and we're going to see it wants to save our new part that we created. So we'll press save all, and in the folder we want, we'll just call this bridge assembly. Now we always want to save it with the in context references, and then now we'll just select save all. Now we can always go back into our parts and change the dimensions of certain features, and it will update. So if we go into reinforce 1 and we'll go to our base flange sketch, edit, we can change this to maybe 12, and then we just have to click the blue arrow to save that, and then once again. And so now that's changed all of them. They're all now slightly smaller, and we can go ahead and save that again. And once we do that, we're going to get this little message appear, and what it's asking is if we want to save the components we added internally into the assembly file or externally. And what we want to do is save them externally, and they will save in the folder with your bridge base that we built earlier. And so this is going to allow us to draw our drawings for the DXF file later on. So we'll see that in a future video. So let's just click OK, and that's going to save. So in the next video, I'm going to show you how we can assemble this bridge with the bridge fixture and make sure that everything fits, and then maybe we can make some adjustments to the height and length and width of our bridge. So I'll see you there.